G is finally ready for some paint, so let's have a quick look round, see what we can do. So you can see, I'll have to turn it around because the boot's running, so I don't know if you can hear me or not on the microphone. So I'll just explain and then I'll show you around. So everything's been blocked, sanded, any little areas that needed a little bit extra or any bits that we've found we've done, which you'll see is light grey. Yeah, arch has been done. Underneath's been stone chipped already. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can see just a very light textured coating. We don't want a hard mass line because it looks horrible. When we've done all these, we just sort of blend the stone chip up the panel, if you like. I've already said, so there's no hard line basically. It always looks like somebody's been in there because the hard line is so hard, and some people put the stone chip so thick, it just looks untidy for me. So we just, where possible anyway, we'll just do that. So now we've got a Spectro, which I'll show you, which is this one. So just going to go around now because we've got a couple of rub throughs, stuff like that. Just a couple of rub throughs, so we don't want to leave that and paint over that. So we'll use the Spectro just to dust over them edges. This one, these are made to go directly to metal and give you a substrate to put your paint onto. You can't just put your paint over bare metal. Don't work like that. So, and also as well, because we've used a grey high build primer on a couple of these areas, I will just go over with a black Spectro, just so it's all uniform in all one colour. And then when we've done that, we'll give it another tack cloth again, sorry, another clean, and then a tack cloth again. So just spray that on there. That's all we'll do. That's all it needs as well, is one light coat. So we'll just go around the whole car, get that done. Just double check everything again, make sure we've got everything, make sure we're happy with everything. It's kind of like the point of no return. Once I mix that paint, I need to be applying it. So with masking as well, we've remasked the car, 90% of it. We've just blacked all the arches and that again. We've taped to the floor this time. Basically because we don't want any spray floating around underneath the car. It causes like turbulence when you're spraying. My boot's rear extracted, not a full downdraft, so everything's going to go towards the front eventually. So I would rather it go round the car rather than underneath the car and then put overspray all underneath that nice work that the customer's already done. You see, you've seen it on a previous video. So yeah, I'll go around Spectro. I'll put it on here anyway, just so you can see roughly what I'm doing. I'm just having a quick fly around and a double check. Just tying that up. Nothing too serious at the minute. So we'll get that done. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, so we'll get that done. you can see me. Here we go. We'll lift it up, we'll do it again in a minute. We'll get that done and then we'll get it cleaned and everything. So. That's done now. Not everybody would be bothered about stuff like that. It's just I like everything covered. The reason why I've gone over the grey primer is just so everything is kind of one colour. Now we're painting this in direct gloss paint, which is a 2-part paint. It's quite thick anyway, and I wouldn't have any problem at all going over the grey. It's just something I like to do. I like everything is uniform and as close as we can to the colour. One, we're using less paint. Two, you're not tempted to put a bit more on and potentially have an issue, a run or a sag or something like that. Now everything should go on nice and uniform. So we're going for 3 coats. I will try and show you one of them. I'll just see if I can get this camera far enough back so you can see what we're doing. I'll speed it up in the edit anyway so you're not bored too much. And then we'll have a look around it at the end. So right, I'm going to go get some cleaning stuff now and I'll be back. Right, we're in the paint room now, so we'll grab our cleaning stuff in a minute. What I'm going to do is mix some paint. One, because it's a bit cold, and I like to get them mixed up and just put them in the booth just to warm them through a little bit. We've got the booth running anyway. We've got the booth running a tiny bit higher than what I normally do for now. And I've had it running for probably 20 minutes, so any condensation that's left on the panel, I've shown you that in the previous video, anything like that that sort of potentially could have been sucked in by the primer, because it's hygroscopic, so it soaks in water. Most primers are like that, by the way, any high builds, anything like that. Etch primer is probably the worst one from what I understand, or certain etch primers are anyway. If you don't get it overcoated quickly, you're going to have an issue, which is why most people nowadays anyway will want to use, they might use etch on a small area, but most people would like epoxy. Sorry, screen's gone down. Most people would epoxy nowadays anyway, so you eliminate that issue anyway, but it's just nice to make sure that everything's done nice. So we're also we need the paint job to last, so everything we do 20 minutes now might save a potential rework in the future, which is no almost cough then. Nobody wants a redo. It's probably one of the most soul destroying emotional moments of your life. You get it done, you're happy with it, you come back in the next day, something's gone wrong with it, or you get a phone call in a few months time and hey up, this has happened, and it's like, you don't want any of that. So everything you try and do, cover your bases, make sure you clean, make sure you're happy with everything. Even if you run out of time, paint it the following day. You'll thank me for that later on. So paint wise, and again I'm waffling, I do apologise. So paint wise, like I said, I've ordered this in. If you've watched the other videos, I don't know which one's come out yet. You'd have seen the colour already anyway. Just let that screen's come off. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's called Black Tulip. It's an MG colour, but it's actually very, very purple. It's quite dark. It's actually classed as a blue, believe it or not. So we're going to use the big cups because we've got quite a lot to do. So we'll get the liners out. So it's up to you. Right? Most paints will have their own technical data sheet, so you can mix it however you want, however they recommend basically. This one is a 2-to-1, so it's 2 parts paint, 1 part hardener, and I believe it's 10% thinners. Now I put 10% in to start with for the first couple of layers anyway, and on my third layer I'll just reduce it that tiny bit more, purely to get it to flow out nice and flat. I don't take it past its maximum or anything like that. I think I can, I'm sure it's 20% anyway, but the first 2 layers I just try and put them on not thick as in it looks thick, just thick as in you want proper coats, proper full coats, whatever. You don't really need to put a control coat or a mist coat first or anything like that. Just try and get try and get full coats on this type anyway. Check with your manufacturer and check with your paint, whatever you use. If I was painting at home in the garage, with it being colder and not having the right extraction, or as good as the extraction as what I've got here, I would probably be tempted to build up thinner coats, but maybe have one extra thinner coat to give me a chance for it to flash off properly. So again, you're not trapping any moisture in there or anything like that. So, but where possible, if you can spray in a spray booth, some people might hire you one out, or try and get your panel temperature is the important one. Try and get the panel temperature up, and then good airflow will obviously help as well. So, believe it or not, I have painted in garages and outside and all sorts of stuff in the past. So it is nice having a spray booth, but I didn't start with a spray booth. I started with, sorry, the dog's knocking the doodad. We started way before then, so we built our way up. So I do understand what we had to do then to what we can do now. So anyway, I'm waffling again. Less waffle. Let's get this work done. So something else I'm doing as well, if anybody's interested, I'm using a slower hardener. So if you was painting at home, you would have to use a faster one, purely because you haven't got that steady heat. or if you have bonus, then use a slower one. The idea of the slower one is it will stay open longer and flow out that bit more. And generally, a rule of thumb, the more you force paint to dry faster, so fast thinners and fast hardeners, you'll get a reduction in gloss at the end. You can polish it and it does kind of come back. My experience in the past using certain products anyway, they used to sup up like an orange overnight, so you'd leave them and they'd look lovely at night time. You come in the morning, it's all sunk back, looks like a sort of orange peeling. So then you'd had to flat polish everything, and it was a bit of a nightmare really. So yeah, we'll get these done. Splash the thinners, 10%. It might sound silly as well, but it's important to. So although you're mixing, make sure you're scraping the sides. You want all that solid paint, if you like, the actual main paint, all in there, and that's it. So I'll get these mixed and all set up and everything, so I'm not waffling too much because I'll just carry on and on. We'll get these done and I'll see you back in the booth. Alright, sorry about that, I had to start without you. So I've already been back over again with the tack cloth. I've double checked everything looks alright from what I can see. I've got the paint in here now, so I'm going to try and leave you on this tripod. Try and get it so you can see at least half the car, and then we'll get it painted. That's what we can do. I'm right in the way now. One of the things I always go on about is panel temperature. So what we want to do is just double check anyway. So we're on 23 there, which is perfect. So now we're happy. It's been running a while. There's no moisture left on the panel. The panels are up to temperature. So now I'll get my mask on. Quick fly around, and then let's get some paint on. Right, I'm nearly out of battery and SD card, so I'll have to be quick. So hopefully you've seen me put 3 coats on now. It's all nice and wet. I've turned the booth off. It's had about 15 minutes just to calm down with the heat still on, and then we'll just let it calm down now. So I'll walk you around it. Oh, somebody started the dog around as well. Right, we'll try again quick. I got rudely interrupted there. I don't even know where I've got now, so we'll just so you can see it. Looking all nice and flat, which is what we want. Nice and glossy, which is also what we want. Couple of little dirt nibs in it. We're going to flat and polish the whole thing anyway, so it's irrelevant really. But it looks nice. For anybody else that's painting one of these, you do have to be careful going over the wings, because it'll be naturally heavier either side as opposed to the top, so you'll want to put more on the top, but then it'll run down the side if you're not careful. So sometimes you're better off just holding back ever so slightly on the tops of the wings and then paint everything as normal. Right, well that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and all that wonderful stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.